Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're tackling a really fascinating paradox. To totally master the cloud and artificial intelligence, two massive tech giants are building something, well, incredibly physical. If you've been wanting to understand how massive global companies actually implement AI on a day-to-day operational basis, you are in exactly the right place.
Okay, let's dive right into this. The big question, how do you turn AI hype into actual corporate reality? I mean, we hear about AI literally nonstop, right? But moving it from a cool conceptual demo into a secure tool that thousands of employees use every single day, that is a monumental task. The source material we're breaking down today details a very specific physical solution to scaling AI, completely engineered by two industry heavyweights.
So, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to hit four main areas: the billion-dollar alliance, inside the new hub, the three pillars of AI, and finally, launch day details.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the billion-dollar alliance and its global context.
Over $1 billion. Yeah, you heard that right. That is the massive financial scale of the global strategic alliance between KPMG and Microsoft. They aren't just testing the waters anymore. They have, as they say, bought the whole pool. And what's really fascinating here is how this giant global investment is now funneling down into localized high-impact training centers. Why? Simply to ensure that this technology actually gets adopted by the workforce.
All right, moving right along to Section 2, inside the new hub, where we look at the actual physical space. So this dedicated Microsoft ecosystem and Copilot space is opening up right at the KPMG Brazil headquarters. Specifically, we're talking about the São Paulo Corporate Towers, Tour A, down in Vila Olímpia. For those of you mapping it out, the exact physical address is Rua Arquitect Olavo Redig de Campos, 105. It's an undeniably high-profile address for a very high-stakes initiative. Honestly, it just goes to show that even in our era of remote work and cloud computing, if you want to really master digital tools, sometimes you just need a dedicated room to sit down and figure it out together.
Now let's get into Section 3, the three pillars of AI, which outlines their functional strategy. The very first pillar here is the practical innovation hub. Because let's be real, there is a massive difference between running an isolated, tiny pilot project and actually operating AI at a true corporate scale. This new space is designed to bridge that exact gap. It serves to train both employees and clients on how to take those small AI pilots and migrate them to full-scale corporate deployment. And they're doing this using some specific heavy-hitting tools: Microsoft 365 Copilot and their new intelligent agent governance platform, Microsoft Agent 365. It's all about making that critical jump from a fun experiment to a solid enterprise standard.
The second pillar centers around KPMG's totally unique status as a frontier firm. Now, Microsoft uses this specific term for a very select group of companies that have fundamentally remodeled their entire operation around artificial intelligence. This brand new physical room in São Paulo basically acts as the national home base to sustain that status. It supports a highly sophisticated data ecosystem built directly on Microsoft Fabric and GenAI. So they aren't just using the software, they're literally acting as the proving ground for it.
And this brilliantly illustrates our third pillar, the strategic productivity focus. Look, this isn't your standard generic tech support. They are laser targeting specific high-value corporate teams. We're talking audit, tax consulting, and finance. The goal is teaching them to create their own custom automations within the Microsoft ecosystem to drastically accelerate the delivery of highly complex projects. This right here, this is where the real return on investment happens. By empowering these specific teams with actual AI skills, they are radically transforming everyday corporate productivity.
Okay, bringing it home with Section 4, launch day details. Let's look at the hard logistics and flow.
If you're an internal team member, a client, or one of the exclusive partners invited to the inauguration, you'll want to mark your calendars for August 25th, 2026. The logistical flow for the day is completely mapped out. When you arrive at Toria, you're going to head straight to the central reception. From there, you'll be directed to the exact floor cleared specifically for the opening. Depending on your invite, the whole shebang will include an opening cocktail reception and a practical workshop. It is highly structured, ensuring that the day runs as efficiently as the AI tools they're unveiling. Which really brings us to the most important question of the day. Are you ready to transition your workflows to an AI-first model? I mean, the billion-dollar investments have been made, the physical spaces are opening up, and the tools are just waiting. The only question left is, will you be in the room? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep exploring.